What up? What up? It's a beautiful Monday. Always a good start to the week when you can wake up happy. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of happy, let's talk about how it feels to go through so much chaos in a weekend and then go right back to work on a Monday as if nothing happened. Ain't that wild? Ain't that just such a crazy thing to think about? You can do so much in such a short period of time, right? Like let's just say you have an average 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, you don't really do much. But you go out, you enjoy your life. That's where you try to fit the most jam-packed stuff in as much as possible. Or at least, that's what I try to do. I don't know if everybody thinks like that. Some people do everything Monday through Sunday, and I can do that too. But a lot of the time, I'm generally trying to live the same lifestyle Monday through Friday because that's what's working. That's what gets me through my day. So the chaos that can happen over the weekend can be something as such as maybe you got drunk, maybe you fell, maybe you got injured. I got bit by a dog. You know what I'm saying? Never know what could happen to you in such a short period of time. But throughout your work week, everything seems to go slow. It's kind of interesting. That's why they say life passes by too fast, because it's like you're constantly playing the game of doing as much work days as possible and then going right back to enjoying your life in as little segment as you can, as much as you can as possible. But by that time, you're already probably burnt out, or you're burning out, so you don't really feel like doing much. Like you got so many sides of life, but you got to live life. That's the problem. That's not the problem. That's the thing, is you got to live life. Because at the end of the day, for many, many years, what I would do is go to work, go home, maybe play video games, maybe watch TV, maybe cook, maybe get food. I would never go out to eat. I'd probably just get the food and have it brought back to the house. But I lived a very boring life. And on the weekends, since I work so much, it was like, I'll just stay home and maybe play video games, watch TV, watch movies. Maybe go out once or twice on the weekend, go grab food somewhere at a restaurant just to get out the house. Maybe go shop around looking for clothes or something like that. Like, that's what I used to do for so many years. But now I'm at the point where I just try to do as much as possible, because I got some good advice from a really, really close friend of mine. And the advice was, because I've been cooped up in my lonesome for so long, it's much better if I'm forced to go out and I'm forced to do things that I wouldn't typically do. And the last bit from that was that this is the best thing going forward. Anytime you get invited to something, no matter what it is, say yes to it and go, because you never know what's actually going to happen. And the worst thing that can happen is you go and you just don't like it, and you went and you didn't like it. Who cares, right? But that's what I'm getting at, is that it really does matter in terms of, are you going to live your life, or are you just going to watch your life pass by? Because I can say that there are some people in life that live such a nonchalant, basic life. I just learned what nonchalant really meant. A very nonchalant, basic life. And they don't really need much. They kind of just chill, their whole lifestyle. They just chill. And that's dope. That's very dope. But I want to see things. I want to travel, you know what I'm saying? But I need people to travel with. And I have people to travel with, but it's like you got to plan those things out. You really got to shoot for the vacations and enjoy the time frames that you go. Because at the end of the day, I don't see myself enjoying traveling by myself. That just seems boring. You got to have somebody, a brother, a sister, a best friend, a girl, somebody to talk to. You can meet people there, but if you're not cherishing moments with somebody else in life, then what are you really doing in life, right? Anywho, story for another day. But yeah, what I'm getting at is that a lot of people aren't actually living out their best life that they should be living. And I was one of those people for so long. And I'm so glad that I'm finally pushing myself to just say yes to everything, because since I've done that, I've had scenarios where I was like, dang, I wish I didn't go. And I had scenarios like, well, luckily I went. You know what I'm saying? And that's so dope, is that you can have that luckily I went moment. But it's not even luckily, because you knew you was going to go regardless. You knew you was going to go regardless, right? You knew this. But yeah, so I'm in a position now where I'm starting to realize going out is disrupting my work flow. And so I purposely had to say no a few times. I actually had to say no. I was invited to some birthdays. I was invited to actually, I went to a cabin and I was invited to another cabin. Had to say no to that one. I've been invited to a couple of things now, and I can't keep going to every one of them, because you got to start picking and choosing. What I've come to realize is that if you spread yourself out too much, it gets very hard to put much focus into one thing. And obviously we all know that. It's like if you're cooking something and you put way too many ingredients in it, you won't taste every particular ingredient because it's just too many. But if you kind of stick to more of the basics, you taste the salt, you taste the pepper, you taste the yada, you know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of hawks just eating on a deer outside the road in Tennessee. Welcome here. But yeah, so I've had to start saying no, and I'm not ashamed about it. I'm not mad about it, because in the times that I did say no, for example, this weekend I had to say no one thing, and I had just got some equipment that I needed to paint, because the other stuff that is supposed to be coming this week, I'm going to have to drop off with my guy. He's going to install it for me. And the issue is that one of the equipments was white. I needed it to be black, so I had to paint it, right? And that I thought was going to take an hour, but I had to undo wires and things of that nature that was inside of that component to remove everything that was inside of it. It was basically like a subwoofer type system. I had to undo all the wires, cut the wires, so I've now got to go back and reattach all those wires. So we turned what turned into a 30-minute painting process, 2-hour process, to what's going to now become a installing speakers back into the subwoofer process, which is probably another 2 hours or so. I want to do it professionally, and I'm going to do it myself. It's not going to be super professional, but it'll be close enough, right? And yeah, so I had to take time to do that, which took me 2 hours. All I did was get it painted. I still haven't done the second part to it. And that's just a fragment of what I actually have to do. That's my personal life goals, right? That's just something I personally am doing. What I really, really, really need to work on is my business, right? I got so much other stuff in my business that's like, I got a weeks to prepare for. And I'm on a grind now. I'm on a grind now, guys. And so I'm really at the point where I'm starting to realize it's making more sense for me to put initiative in toward maintaining my life in what's a particular form, a particular format, such as going to work at a specific time, which I usually do, working out. I work out 2 times a day. I try to, if I can, most days. Here lately, I've been able to go mostly one time a day, and it's just been kind of hard to maintain it. Not necessarily hard, because I'm putting it on the back burner. Let me just put it at that. I'm putting working out on the back burner. I achieved my goals. My doctor told me I needed to get off my diet to let my body start resetting. I got off my diet, kind of just like maintaining right now. I'm doing a slight bulk, if I would say anything, and I wouldn't even say it's a bulk, because I'm still under my calories at the end of the week, or probably like right at maintenance, slightly above. It's like I'm right at the edge. I'm right there. I'm not tracking it to a T, but most days I'm like 95% accurate. And so that 5% variable is where it's like, okay, I'm either at maintenance, up or down. I know my weight's kind of like fluctuating. It's going up some days, down some days, but it's hovering right around 172. And I was originally at 162, so I'm trying to get up to about 175 and then start cutting back down to about 168. Like I'm doing it very slow. I'm not losing this 6-pack this time. I'll tell y'all that much. I'm not losing it no more. But I've got to put my life in correct platforms and correct formats, because I've got so many things that I've got to do, right? But that's the video for today, y'all. I just wanted to put that out there, Make sure that you're getting on your grind. Enjoy your Monday. Let's get everything popping. Let's get it going, man.